It's chilly here in Madison, but on a Tuesday night, there's no better place to be than here at the Kohl Center, where the Badgers are set to take on the Panthers of Milwaukee. Hi, everybody. I'm Jineen Ford alongside my partner, Stephanie Magic White. Stephanie, each year these two teams come together trying to see who's king of the hill, or queen of the hill, I should say.
Yeah, this in-state rivalry is really about bragging rights. A young Wisconsin team led by veteran Braylon D'Elia, the only one with a significant amount of playing experience on this team, against a veteran-laden Milwaukee Panthers team. 12 players returning, 8 of their 9 top scorers.
Well, the top scorer would be Tracy Edwards, the big girl in the middle for Milwaukee.
Tracy Edwards getting it done since the day she stepped on Milwaukee's campus. Her numbers speak for themselves. She's a player who's came in and been dominant. 45 double-doubles, 45 20-point games, 91 times in double figures of 97 games, and is on pace to break the career scoring record at Milwaukee.
Now, on the other side of the ball, Wisconsin really looking to build from their Paradise Championship.
A huge win over Baylor at the Paradise Championship in the Virgin Islands. This is a team who stepped it up on the defensive end. It wasn't pretty, but it was a W, and Alyssa Carroll was clutch, hitting the game winner with 7 seconds left. This is a player who's really stepped it up on both ends of the floor. She can get to the rim, she can knock it down from the outside, leading the Big Ten in 3-point field goals made per game. And Braylon D'Elia, the leader, the heart and soul of this team, is really stepping it up in the leadership department vocally, but leading by example, being a consistent force on both ends of the floor and setting the tone for this Wisconsin team.
Now, just looking at the stats, Steph, what sticks out to you?
Well, I think the way that these two have stepped up their game. Alyssa Carroll, 12.7 points per game, also rebounding from the guard position extremely well. And Braylon D'Elia is just consistent and constant, and that's what they need.
We're going to need your professional opinion one more time. What are your keys?
Keys for Milwaukee: give it to the big girl early and often. Get her touches in the paint. Wear down the Badgers. Get them up and down the floor. Use your depth. Use your experience to your advantage. And for Wisconsin, keep it under 60. Defense is their bread and butter, and force the Panthers outside. Make them hit jump shots. Make everything that Edwards gets, make her work for it.
Bragging rights at stake for these two teams. It's the Badgers and the Panthers coming up next on the Big Ten Network.
Look at the Big Ten's brightest female athletes and coaches on the show designed to shine the spotlight on them.
We kind of have the same goal, you know, to win that national championship.
The Big Ten Women's Show, Mondays only on the Big Ten Network.
Welcome back. The Badgers are set to take on the Panthers of Milwaukee. And Coach Sandy Botham of Milwaukee, she is no stranger to success, Stephanie. In a lot of years at Milwaukee in the Horizon League, she has been in, the top 1-2 position in the last 8 or 9 years.
She has. They've top, first, or second 8 of the last 9 years, and a league record 129 league victories, the longest of any tenured coach in the Horizon League.
I'm Braylon D'Elia, and I'm the point guard for the Wisconsin Badgers, and here's our starting lineup. Coming in at the 5 is Lynn. I'm shy, but on the court, I'm fly as Astro. Bringing in at the 4 with lots of energy is Ashley Smash Thomas. Holding it down at the 3 is Tia Gant and the Wisconsin Badgers, bringing in the defense. Coming in at the 2 is Alyssa. Between 2 defenders with the left, that's got to make the Big Ten Network, Carroll. And holding it down at the 1 at 5'3" is Braylon D'Elia.
And here is UW's lineups: Jody McClain, Janine Williams, Tracy Edwards, that's the one we have to keep an eye on, Turquoise McCain, and Danielle Jorgensen.
This is a Milwaukee team, again, that we've talked about, have veterans on the floor. See if they can exploit the youth of Wisconsin. But Wisconsin growing up quickly. We saw the last win against Baylor. This is a team that played it clutch in clutch situations.
The officials tonight: Lisa Mattingly, Dave Stewart, and Amy Bonner. Seems like that was one of your friends. Was that from your playing days?
Dave Stewart used to referee when I was playing, so he's been around. He's seen a lot.
Milwaukee with the tip. You have your Milwaukee in black and the Badgers in white. quick shot right off the mark by Jorgensen.
This is a player who can step it out, hit the three-point shot. That's a big girl, great size. When you can step out and knock down that three, it stretches the defense. And Wisconsin playing that packed defense, going to keep it in the lane.
Alyssa, did you see that make the Big Ten highlight Carol? She just took the first shot, no good. And they'll settle back into their defense.
Good job right there, Zastro. Again, Wisconsin's defense, they're going to play ball pressure tight, but everybody else is going to have a foot in the paint. They're going to be sagged off right there. You saw a great example of that.
Ball thrown inside to Ashley Thomas. She got her first stop. She got her first start today.
Here we go. We're going to see right here. Good flare screen. They play that 4-out, 1-in, so you're going to see a lot of flare screens, a lot of screens away, and Jorgensen stepping out. That's big time when she can knock down that shot.
That was a men's three-pointer she took there. Talk about range.
There's been a lot of talk about that men's three-point line. A lot of players getting confused. Which one's ours? Which one's the men's? I say let's all play with the same three-point line.
Yeah, I imagine it's somewhat of a distraction. Ball thrown inside. Edwards off the mark. She has a double team, and then there's a shot clock violation.
Shot clock violation. This is exactly what Wisconsin wants to do. They want to make sure that every possession they're defending for the entire 30 seconds. They're going to pack it in the paint, force Milwaukee to do something that's uncomfortable, out of their comfort zone.
D'Elia will set the offense. Ashley Thomas, Coach Stone said she's been doing a tremendous job, number 23 for Wisconsin.
Ashley Thomas coming in as a freshman, one of those players who, a great defender, very versatile, can play the 3 or the 4. She's just got to defend and rebound. That's what they need her to do. She's done a great job of it.
Shot clock down to 3. Badgers about to run out of time. D'Elia has to check it up. And the cheap foul as the shot clock runs down.
We're going to see Wisconsin right here, the last defensive possession. Really great on-ball pressure tee. Again, one of the great defenders. On-ball screen, Edwards, you got a key on him. Look at what happens. Defensive rotation and then swarm to the basketball. When Edwards gets it down low, they have to swarm, make her kick it back out.
She's going to expect to see 2 and 3 people running at her all year.
She sure is.
First free throw is up and good. Second one as well. Raylin D'Elia, 61% free throw shooter. Coach Stone talked about the free throw shooting. She said that she doesn't want to make a big deal out of it, but her team not really shooting well from the free throw line so far this year.
Little over 58%. And again, when you're talking about a team that's not very efficient on the offensive end, doesn't score a lot of points, you got to get the freebies.
Turquoise McCain off the mark there. Badgers with the rebound.
And you're going to see Wisconsin run a little bit of that 4-out. When you run a 4-out, it's a little bit of freedom. Let them play basketball right there. When you have indecision, you just got to be set on that screen. Make sure you're decisive when you're setting that screen. Moving just a little bit to try to get Turquoise McCain. Zastro called with that moving screen. But playing the game of basketball, both of these teams want to allow their team that freedom.
First foul for Lynn Zastro, first team foul. Williams. Ball stolen away by Gant. Gant thought she got fouled, and I assume that's why she stopped play, Steph.
Yeah, I think so. I think Gant right there, again, you see the swarming defense that she came in and got that steal, started to go out. Might have been a little contact, but you got to play to the whistle. I know every coach always says play to the whistle. They could have had an easy 2 points on the other end. In Milwaukee, you're going to see a lot of screens away, a lot of flare screens trying to open it up with the 4-out for Edwards inside.
And you see D'Elia, she picks up the second team foul, her first personal, trying to dig down in there.
And that's going to happen, but you've got to be smarter, especially if you're Raylin D'Elia. You're the veteran on this team. You know, go if she puts it down, right? Edwards didn't quite put it down. D'Elia's got to be smart enough and patient enough to know we need you on the floor. We can't have early, quick fouls like that.
Williams get it back, look to get it back inside, but there's a turnover.
And Lynn Zastro, great size in the paint, can really body up. And you see right here, 3-quarter on the high side, ball comes in, gets behind. If she catches it, it's not going to be an easy score. Lynn Zastro has a great body to go against Tracy Edwards. She can be physical, but she's also quick and athletic enough to move once Edwards gets the ball.
Now, Stephanie, just with the double that Edwards will face all day today, what's going to be the better way for her to get some baskets today?
Well, I think she's going to have to face up a little bit. I think she's going to have to do exactly what Zastro does right there. Face up, take somebody off the dribble. Sandy Botham says that's one of the elements of her game that she worked on over the summer. She's got to be a little bit more of a face-up player, make her a little bit more versatile.
Zastro off the mark there, and then a turnover by Milwaukee. D'Elia will set things. Ball thrown inside to Thomas. Hard dribble, she kind of threw it up there, Steph.
Yeah, Wisconsin doing a great job on the defensive end, but not getting a lot of conversions. They've got to be efficient on the offensive end, make sure they work to get good shots and knock them down.
Another turnover for the Panthers. And we have some substitutions. Steinbauer will check in for Thomas.
And Tara Steinbauer, a player that comes in, just a really blue-collar kid, another one that they can body up against Edwards down low, but also somebody who come in that can knock down shots. She can be an offensive. Ashley Thomas, her offense will come as the season comes, but right now, what she gives this team is defense and rebounding, and right now Wisconsin has to put some points on the board, so they bring in Tara Steinbauer.
You see early on, the Panthers looking to put a little full court pressure. Gant will bring it up. She gets it to Carroll. Zastro inside to Steinbauer. And there's a foul on the floor. Steinbauer will go to the line after the break. Badgers trail by 1.
Back here in Madison, Wisconsin trailing by 1. Wisconsin really getting it done on the defensive end, forcing Milwaukee already into 6 turnovers. And when we talk about this Wisconsin team, we talk about a swarming defense. They do a good job of keeping everyone in the paint. Unless you're on the ball, they're going to get deflections, they're going to get steals, and really converge to the ball every time down the floor. And Wisconsin doing a good job of forcing Milwaukee into turnovers, but have to be able to convert on the other end.
Just before the break, there was a foul inside. Steinbauer was fouled, so Badgers will inbound. Carroll down the line. No good. That's a good-looking shot there, Steph.
It really is, and great screens. I mean, this team plays together so well. It's a great screen. Get her an opening. Most of the time, she's going to knock that down.
A turnover there by Steinbauer. Milwaukee with possession, checking inside. There's that swarming defense you mentioned.
Yeah, every time Edwards gets it, somebody's going to have a hand in there. Guards are going to be coming in. She's got to keep it above her head, and she's going to look to score quickly.
Shot clock running down for Milwaukee. Down to 2 seconds. A throw-up shot there by McLean.
You can see how far out Milwaukee's running their offense. Everything that they're doing is beyond the three-point line. They get a pass inside to Edwards, swarm. There are people there, there are hands there. So she's got to make a quick move or kick it back out, reverse the ball, and look to repost on the opposite side.
There's that full court, that full pressure, if you will, that the Panthers like to put on.
And Barnes in the game to really wreak havoc on Raylan D'Elia. They're going to make a lot of people guard her to try to wear her down.
Carroll up top with the ball. Raylan thought about the shot. Shot clock running down for them as well. Zastro tried to force one up, but it was too late. Another shot clock violation. So turnovers.
It is, and we're seeing a defensive battle on both ends. Both teams forcing each other outside the paint, forcing each other to run their offense beyond the three-point line and make something happen. I think eventually we're going to see a lot of backdoor cuts, and a lot of that right there. Penetration, that's what you have to do. Break down the defense with penetration. Draw 2, draw 3, kick, find the open person. Right here, this is exactly what you're going to do. I'm going to cross over. No, I'm not. I'm going to the paint. Takes Alyssa Carroll to the paint. That's what you got to do. Break down the defense with penetration.
Nice in and out move there by Jineen Williams. McLean, she'll get it up top. Back to Williams.
Milwaukee has athletic guards that can do that. They can drive it. They can when you drive it, you make the defense shift. You cause a help and a recover. And in that instance, they picked up a foul the last time. But right here, we're going to see trying to get the ball into Edwards. It's not going to be an easy task. Zastro does a good job of moving her feet and a great job of pressuring the ball.
Yes.
When you pressure the ball, it makes it tough to make a pass.
You got to give it up to the defense, the Badger defense in the backcourt. Anya Covington subbing into the game, a freshman. Coach Stone speaking very highly of that freshman, and there's another turnover. Lindsay Lowell driving in inside.
You can see right here, penetrate and kick. Make the defense shift, make them move.
Edwards finally gets her first 2 points of the game.
And that's what she's going to have to do. She's going to have to catch, turn, and face up. She's got to make a move pretty quickly. That time she had a little bit more time because she was off the block. But catch and face up, make a move right away. She's going to have that little jump shot.
Aaliyah,
good ball movement.
and down the line, but there's a foul on the floor.
Ball movement right here, Milwaukee goes into Tracy Edwards, face up, take the jump shot. She's going to have to face up a little bit more, probably going to have to come out on the perimeter a little bit, take people off the dribble. She's got three-point range. She's got 15, 17-foot range. She's going to have to use that in order to open something up on the inside.
Jade Davis, along with Jamie Russell, into the game for the Badgers.
Jamie Russell, a player who's been hindered by a little bit of an injury, but can really fill it up.
Milwaukee changed up their defense. It looks like they're in some sort of zone step.
Yeah, switch into a zone. I think they're going to have to make Wisconsin think. Again, it's a young Wisconsin team. Make them think, make them finish. Right there, Anya Covington, those are baskets that you've got to make. Does a good job of really working for the board. Gets good finishes, gets in the paint. Really been a surprise for this Wisconsin team, this young player. Steinbauer off the mark on the shot, but Covington right there. Good position, gets the rebound, but you've got to be able to convert. When you get bunny opportunities, you've got to be able to knock them down.
Stephanie, somebody said that looks like you in your prime.
I don't know about that.
Thrown up, and finally a score by Tara Steinbauer.
That was a great looking shot right there. A little hook over the left shoulder. Finally gets Wisconsin on the board again.
Scratch that. That was actually Dunham coming into the game, giving the Badgers some points. And there she is with the steal, leading the break. Carroll for the score.
Again, defense creating offense. All the time we're going to talk about them. We talk about Wisconsin. A good job of getting deflections, turning into steals. Mariah Dunham, a player who comes in, a spark plug off the bench. We were a little bit stagnant, and she had to come in and hopefully give this team a lift, and she's done that with the score. Then comes up, we get a turnover. Jade Davis, a good job getting a hand in there, allows Mariah Dunham to get that steal past the net ahead. And Alyssa Carroll is so good at knowing where she is, her body control. She didn't have a lot of time to get that up there, but she knew she had to get it up quickly, and a good conversion.
The Panthers will inbound, ball thrown inside, and there's Edwards stepping out like you mentioned, Stephanie. Skip pass across.
And Jade Davis had a hand in there, and you can see everybody off the ball. If you're not on the ball, you've got a foot in the paint. That's what this pack defense is about. It's a different defense than Wisconsin's used to playing, but with Kathy Bennett on the staff, really an emphasis on the defensive end, and you can tell it.
Maureen Hickman, along with Turquoise McCain, back into the game for the Panthers. McClain throws it up top.
Milwaukee's getting some looks right there. You see a little bit more penetration, breaking down the defense, and you're going to get open shots. It's not going to be a one pass and you're going to score type of offense when you're playing against this Wisconsin defense. The way they pack the paint, you're going to have to move the ball, you're going to have to reverse it, shift sides of the floor, 2 or 3 passes into the offense, and you're going to get open looks.
Jade Davis almost got lost out there, but then there's Carroll. She got busted for traveling, though. There's substitutions on the way. The Badgers a 1-point lead.
My name is Alyssa Carroll. I'm a sophomore guard here at the University of Wisconsin. My favorite food is crab legs and potatoes and corn. I come from a family of all boys except me. I'm the only girl, so that's where I get my toughness.
Alyssa Carroll really key in that Paradise Championship run that the Badgers just came from.
And one of the reasons Wisconsin has taken the lead right now, and she talked about her toughness, and that's one of the things that Coach talks about. She's tough, but she's poised. She's energetic, but she understands game situations. I mean, she has that perfect balance. She's a very heady, very smart basketball player, but also very tough, and is open to taking those clutch shots in that clutch moment.
Into the game for the Panthers, it's Klomstad, and then a turnover, another turnover for Milwaukee.
Again, this Wisconsin defense, I mean, we can't talk enough about how good they are and how much of an emphasis it is with this team. This team is not a team that scores a lot of points, but they've got to be able to stop teams.
Williams will get it inside to Vinehauser. She can't connect. A lot of missed shots by the Panthers.
Getting opportunities, and again, both teams, when you get an opportunity, you've got to be able to convert.
Russell at the top of the key. Can you believe this kid played football?
I know. And boxing. I mean, Coach don't talk about her quick hands because she was a boxer at a young age. And she said she could have any job, she'd be an astronaut. So I think she's somebody who likes to take a little bit of risks.
We won't call her a space cadet just yet. Air ball. D'Elia throws one up and does not draw iron.
Right there, Raylin D'Elia. She got a good look. I mean, you're coming off of that screen. That's a shot that she's used to taking. But right now, both teams really can't quite get a flow going on the offensive end.
Turquoise McCain. Interesting thing about number 0, Turquoise, she has a sister named Mercedes.
Wow, unique.
Absolutely. I wouldn't be surprised if they knew somebody named unique as well. Somebody in the family.
That's a nice finish right there by Klomstad. Again, give Wisconsin a different look. Give Tracy Edwards a little bit of a break to kind of regroup. Klomstad brings a lot more size. She can shoot over Zastro a little bit, but nice to get Milwaukee points on the board. But again, both teams very defensive oriented right now. And Milwaukee finally gets a pass into a post player that hasn't been swarmed. You get it right there. You see Jade Davis dig, but come back. And Klomstad, a good finish going to the baseline side. When the defense digs, they're coming from the high side. You go to the low side, you're going to knock it down. And there's D'Elia. What a shot right there. She's got to get herself going on the offensive end, and that jump shot might just do that.
Off the inbound, Raylin D'Elia scores her 4th point of the night. Three-pointer rattles out of the rim.
Great box out right there, Wisconsin. The ball hits the floor. When you're a coach, that's what you want to see. 5 people boxing out. If the ball has an opportunity to hit the floor, then you go get it.
Russell driving left. Throws one up, but offensive foul called.
D'Elia on the inbounds pass finds Zastor. Wasn't really, I don't think, aware that it was coming. Steps back in, but that's, again, D'Elia. She understands. She saw that there was a little bit of a miss. Nobody was guarding her on the inbounds play. They were playing a zone out of bounds. Gives the ball to Zastro, gets it back, knocks down the jump shot. Very smart play.
They were nearly playing hot potato. Zastro was looking like, I don't want this ball.
You know, and sometimes you have a play set up and you have to ad-lib a little bit, and that's exactly what she did.
Edwards just took a 3. It was no good. She can shoot that shot.
She can shoot that shot, something that she's added to her game and something that she's going to have to use.
Zastro, nowhere to go with it. Ball's up top to Dunham. Nobody's 3-ball really working thus far.
And again, you're seeing an offensive team in Wisconsin whose leading returning scorer averaged just almost 6 points a game. So not anybody who really has been a scorer in the past, but everybody emerging. And what do? They do it by committee. So you got to get 4, 5, 6, 7 points from everybody. And this is a team who's going to take a lot of shots. But again, their focus is on the defensive end. So they know they're going to have problems putting the ball in the hole in the offensive end, but they're going to hunker down and get it done on the defensive end. Just like that. Ball again, swarm.
Jorgensen feet came, from underneath her, but UWM has missed his last 5 shots. Ball thrown inside to Dunham.
Dunham had a big spark. I mean, that's her second field goal, but also on the defensive end, getting a steal, come in, give them a little bit of a lift, try to get some momentum going, try to get some continuity going on the offensive end as well.
Edwards should cut down inside. They're looking to go to her. And shot clock running down.
And we can hear Sandy Botham saying, move, move, move. Again, when teams play good defense, you have a tendency to get stagnant on the offensive end. And in their offense, they've got to pass, they've got to cut, they've got to find the open person just like that. But again, swarming defense from Mariah Dunham. What a play to get down and get the hand on that ball to block it out of bounds.
Jorgensen just can't convert. The Badgers with a 3-point lead.
Back at the Kohl Center in Madison, Wisconsin leads Wisconsin-Milwaukee 10-7. And stick around after the games as our hoops experts break down everything that happened and bring you up to speed on the entire conference with in-depth highlights and interviews. Big Ten tonight, the finale after tonight's game on the Big Ten Network. Well, anytime UW-Milwaukee head coach Sandy Botham comes back to Madison, it's a real homecoming. In the early 80s, Sandy Botham was one of the greatest high school girls basketball players in Wisconsin state history. In fact, Madison West High School is only about 10 blocks away from here at the Kohl Center. And here's some pictures from the past. She led the Regents to the state basketball title her sophomore year in 1982, and then went on to a great career at Notre Dame as well. Sandy Botham back home. She says she had about 15 to 20 of her family here watching tonight at the Kohl Center. Jineen?
Thanks, Jay. Offensive rebound by Milwaukee.
No, Sandy Botham talking about coming home. It's just nice. She gets to see a lot of family. She gets to see a lot of friends, a lot of memories. Played in the old field house to win a state championship when she was a sophomore in high school. So it's really nice for her to not only be able to compete and coach in her home state, but to be able to come back to Madison is a really good opportunity for her.
Absolutely.
There you see the double on the block this time. It's not just a dig, it's a full-out double. Edwards having a tough time, but that was a good job of being poised, dribbling out, reverse the ball, then you've got to get it back in on the opposite side.
Shot clock running down for the Panthers. Shot clock at 1. They had to just throw it up. That was Williams. Raylyn D'Elia will clear.
And there has not been one time down the floor where there hasn't been a Milwaukee shot that's contested or a shot clock that's run down.
Zastro for 3.
And she has that ability. She's one of those players who has great size inside, but has a great, unbelievable touch from the three-point line. Stretch the defense, knock down some shots. And one of the reasons that Wisconsin has this balanced scoring attack, but also the versatility that they have with their posts who can also step out.
The Panthers are on a 10-2 run.
There, Lynn Zastro sets the screen. Tracy Edwards is hedging all the way out there. May have had her toe on the men's line, but she was back there. Good range right there by Zastro. And what it does, it makes Milwaukee think about it. Okay, I was showing on the screen. Now I have to worry about a three-point shooter. When you're setting an on-ball screen with somebody who can stretch the defense with a jump shot, that's tough to defend.
Hickman and Lauer will sub into the game for Milwaukee. Little screen and roll action there.
Good job of Gant staying with it.
And Tia Gant was fouled.
Tia Gant's one of those players whose greatest asset is on the defensive end, but on the offensive end, she's a very good slasher, very good penetrator, can get to the rim. Offensive rebound, she's quick off her feet, gets it, finishes, and gets to the free throw line.
That foul was assessed to Turquoise McCain. That's the 14th foul. Not a lot of fouls, Stephanie.
No, they haven't been, and when they have been, they've been reaching on the defensive end or they've been bodying on a jump shot. The only foul that you can say that Turquoise McCain, the early foul when she fouled D'Elia at the end of the shot clock. But you've got to be smart. You want to use them, but you got to be smart.
Hickman going to work on Carroll.
Another turnover.
Another turnover as she steps on the line. Subbing into the game is Clomstead. Coach Botham just trying to shuffle them in, trying to see who wants to give her something.
She is, and she has that luxury. When you have the depth and you can play 10, 11 players, deep. I mean, she has that luxury to be able to do that. She has post players that she can move in and out. She's got depth at both positions, a luxury that she hasn't had in the past.
Ball thrown inside to Zastro. She's off the mark.
Nobody crashing the boards. And also in this Wisconsin defense, they always send 2 back, so offensive rebounds are left up to 3 players.
Edwards shoots the 3. It was no good, but her teammate there to clean up the mess.
Good job by Williams of getting position. Shot goes up. She gets inside position. She's not very big, but she gets good position and gets up and gets that offensive rebound.
That's one of the things that Coach Botham talked about. She talked about how her guards rebound, and that's something that they really need.
They do, especially when you're playing a team that has good size at every position like Wisconsin. You know, you've got to have your guards get a lot of rebounds. They're going to be matched up right on Tracy Edwards. She's not going to get a lot of touches, and when she does, it's going to be people 2 and 3 around her, but she's also not going to get a lot of offensive rebounds. So your guards have to come in and be able to fill that void.
Second free throw is no good by Williams. She's a 75% free throw shooter.
Nice pass.
Tia Gant will get it inside.
And that's a great look. Tia Gant does a good job of penetrating to the defense, drawing and kicking. And that's inexperience on Thomas's part. She's got to be able to catch that and go right up with it. A lot of young players want to catch it and put it on the floor, and she had a little bit of indecision there.
Another turnover. Edwards not shy and finally connects with the 3-point basket.
That's that flare screen, and last night when we were watching Wisconsin practice, they were working on defending that flare screen. They were going to shoot the gap. Well, if Edwards is going to start knocking down those threes, you're going to have to trail her around, body up with her, make it tough for her to catch the ball.
Panthers trail by only 4. Carroll, no good. Quick rebound. And Williams gets down the floor rather quickly, but she gets busted for traveling.
Williams does a great job of pushing the ball up the floor, but when you're in that position, you just got to take the shot, knock it down. Right there, you see the flare screen, maybe a little bit of a moving, but Edwards gets space, and when she gets space and she's able to knock that shot down, again, what it does is it forces Wisconsin post players to get out on her on the perimeter. They can't stay that 1 foot in the lane that they want to off the ball. They've got to get out on her. Once you hit some jump shots and they have to play you at the 3, it opens up in the paint so she can get back to work on the block.
Steinbauer into the game for Zastro. That is Milwaukee's 13th turnover, and we still got a lot of game to play.
We sure do, and one of the things that Sandy Botham talked about was wanting to take care of the ball. They average almost 19 a game.
Anya Covington, good inside position there, just can't connect. Hickman will lob it inside to Edwards. Edwards looking to make a pass, not such a good idea. Carroll tries to lay one up, but got hit with the body. That was Lindsay Lauer with the foul. Badgers with a 4-point lead over the Panthers. Points away from breaking the school record.
And Wisconsin had time to really, in that timeout, want to get a good shot, want to get a good score, because they want to have the momentum going into halftime.
Carroll will hold off.
And what happens? You want to get a shot, you give the ball to Alyssa Carroll. She's a player who can make something happen. Maybe not score the basketball, but she'll make the right decision. She'll find the open player. She'll make something happen.
Shot clock at 4. D'Elia down the lane. She's off the mark. 8 seconds remain. Williams throws one up. No good, and that is the half. So both teams offensively having a little bit of trouble, Stephanie, but the Badger defense, the thing that's really keeping them ahead.
Yeah, and I'm telling you that, a good job of defensively by both teams getting it done as well. And it's I think Jay has Coach Stone right now. We'll see what she has to say about this first half.
All right, thanks very much. Well, let's talk defense first. You hold Milwaukee to 18 points. They're shooting only 6 of 22 from the field, and everything they've gotten, they've earned.
Well, they sure have, and we've got to do a better job of getting through that flare screen on there for their post players. That's where their threes are coming from. And we didn't talk about that. We talked more about their guards coming through, but not bad. Offense, we've got to get it going a little bit more. They're doing a good job. We're doing a good job. Hopefully we can find a little bit better flow in the second half.
All right, Lisa, thanks. Jineen, back to you.
Thanks, Jay. That's the end of the first half with the Badgers leading 29-18. Let's go to our Chicago studios with Rick Pizzo and Vera Jones.
Let's go.
Saturday, it's a
halftime update. Rick Pizzo, Vera Jones with you. Wisconsin over Wisconsin-Milwaukee, 29-18 at the half. And Vera, let's be honest, not the prettiest half of basketball we've ever seen.
Definitely not. I thought we were going to have to get Chiquita out of makeup to make this thing a little pretty. It was ugly. Turnovers, lots and lots of them. And in fact, at the half, Milwaukee has 15. But you can look at it differently. It was great defense. Alyssa Carroll on the steal. And again, trying to push tempo, but could not score up court. Out of this one, it's Raylin D'Elia pushing tempo, could not score. Finally, however, they get after the ball. D'Elia up the court, and this is exactly what Wisconsin needs to be doing, pushing tempo and getting the ball inside. She finds Mariah Dunham, who's able to turn and score. Get the ball inside. Transition baskets are going to make a huge difference if Wisconsin wants to come away with a win.
And certainly if they get those type of looks, Lisa Stone hoping her team shoots better than 8 for 25, which is what they shot in the first half. Let's look ahead to the second half of our doubleheader tonight, Marquette and Northwestern. This is a matchup of two teams in very different styles. Means Northwestern going to have to mind their P's and Q's on defense.
Northwestern is one of those teams that has come a long, long way, but they will definitely be battle-tested tonight against Marquette. Marquette shoots the ball 66 times per game. The only other team in the nation I can think that shoots more is probably University of North Carolina. So this is going to be a run-and-gun style of game, and Northwestern defense is going to be critical.
Northwestern likes to keep it low. They average 61 points a game. Marquette averaging nearly 80 points a game right now. They have kept under 70 points, yet this season the Golden Eagles will certainly be shooting it and shooting it often. Going to take a quick break. When we come back, we have Vera's keys for the second half. Wisconsin with an 11-point lead at the break. Back to hear how the Badgers make sure they keep that lead in the final 20 minutes.
Well, I felt like I needed an extra kick or an extra little boost to get me through, and from what I hear, 5-Hour Energy does the job, so I decided to give it a try. I like the way 5-Hour Energy makes me feel before games. It gives me that edge that I need and keeps me focused throughout the football game. I tell all the players to take 5-Hour Energy. I mean, they see the way it makes me feel, so I think everybody wants that same type of feeling. I am the 5-Hour Energy guru. It's the truth. I mean, I wouldn't be taking it. 5-Hour Energy. I use it. I love it.
I have the mind of a Wildcat, but the heart of a Badger.
I'm proud to be an Illini dancer with the strength of a Spartan.
I watch the Buckeyes play through the eyes of a Wolverine.
We may wear different colors.
And coming up a bit later, it's the Big Ten Tonight finale. Immediately following the Marquette-Northwestern game, we'll have complete women's hoops highlights. And on the men's side, the ACC Big Ten Challenge. Second night being played on Tuesday. We'll have complete highlights from 5 games and analysis from Jim Jackson in the house coming up. That's the Big Ten Tonight finale after the second half of our women's basketball doubleheader. Meantime, at the half of the first half of that doubleheader, Wisconsin with a 29-18 lead over Wisconsin-Milwaukee. Vera Jones, what are the keys for the Badgers in the second half?
Well, Wisconsin obviously has to push tempo a little bit more. They're getting steals and they're able to get out in transition, but they're not converting. So execution on offense is going to be critical. Rebound is going to be critical, and they have to keep up the intensity on defense. They forced 15 first-half turnovers, which is incredible. They certainly want to keep that up.
And Lisa Stone obviously can't teach them to put it in the bucket a little bit better in the second half.
It would be nice if
she just has to hope the looks are as good as they were in the first half. They'll shoot it a little bit better if they get it down in the paint like they did in the first half. It's an 11-point lead for the Badgers. That's going to do it for this halftime update. We'll send it back to the Kohl Center. Wisconsin up by 11 at the break. 29-18 is your halftime score.
They desire greatness, demand respect, define success, and let true passion shine through. This is Big Ten Women's Basketball in HD, only on the Big Ten Network.
Log on to BigTenNetwork.com and register for the Big Ten Superfans program. Sign up and you can win tons of great prizes by watching.
Welcome back to the Kohl Center. It's halftime, and the Badgers have an 11-point lead, Stephanie. Not a pretty first half in terms of offense, but defensively, the Badgers doing what they wanted to do.
They are. It's been an ugly game, which is exactly the way Wisconsin wants to play. They've done a great job on the defensive end, forcing 15 Milwaukee turnovers and really setting the tone on the defensive end. Offensively, neither team able to get into a flow yet, but the defense on both ends has been terrific.
Well, let's just look at our first half stats. Stephanie, 27% from the field. The Panthers have forced, Milwaukee has shot from the field.
Yeah, and the difference, I mean, 15 turnovers to 9 turnovers and 10 points off of those turnovers. And when you talk about Wisconsin, that's what they want to do, force you into turnovers. You see swarming defense, getting deflections, forcing them into steals, converging on the basketball. 15 turnovers by Milwaukee. Now, they have 10 points off of those turnovers, but as you heard Vera Jones talk about fast break points, they only have 2 of those, so they've got to be able to take those turnovers and convert them just like this right here. When Raylin D'Elia gets this, that's exactly what they have to do. They've got to create offense from their defense, get a lot more points out of fast break opportunities because their defense is so good.
Now, this is a half that this is exactly what Coach Stone talked about with the defense. It just seems like the Panthers are really playing into Coach Stone's plan.
They are, and again, what do you talk about limiting Tracy Edwards' touches, and Wisconsin's done a great job of that, really forcing her to catch the ball on the block and have 2 and 3 defenders on her. That's her one look that she's had, one-on-one opportunity. Now she's getting involved on the perimeter off of the flare screen, a nice little jump shot. So they're going to have to get her more involved on the offensive end, on the outside facing up, and inside, outside for a jump shot, and that's what we have to do.
Let's just look at your keys to the game, Steph.
Yeah, and keys to the game, Edwards, get her quality touches. Well, she's had touches, but they haven't been quality. They've been a swarming defense down there, wear down the Badgers. Wisconsin, their depth has proven to be good with 16 points off the bench. And keep it under 60, 18 points, that's pretty darn good for a half. Force the Panthers outside. 2 points in the paint. When you're keeping it out of the paint and you're playing great defense like Wisconsin's doing, they give themselves an opportunity to win.
We'll have the second half action coming up next after this.
I was born and raised in Wisconsin, and I will live and die a Badger. I love being a volleyball player here at Madison, but being a student athlete at Wisconsin means more. I've always been interested in the environment, and I'm in a program called Rethink Wisconsin that is recycling at home football games. Hopefully this will catch on across campus and will make a huge difference. I'm able to be an athlete that makes a difference. Big life, big stage, Big Ten.
Take an in-depth look at the Big Ten's brightest female athletes and coaches on the show designed to shine the spotlight on them.
We kind of have the same goal, to win that national championship.
The Big Ten Women's Show, Mondays only on the Big Ten Network.
They desire greatness, demand respect, define success, and let true passion shine through. This is Big Ten Women's Basketball in HD, only on the Big Ten Network.
I am a non-attorney spokesperson. If you or a loved one was diagnosed with an asbestos...
Dick Bennett was the head coach of the Wisconsin Badger men's basketball team from 1995 to 2000, but nice to see him here at the Kohl Center tonight watching the women's game because your daughter Kathy's an assistant for Wisconsin. Big thrill for you for Kathy coming back to Wisconsin, I would imagine.
Well, it was. We were just happy that she wanted to get back into basketball. She had coached for, I don't know, 17 or 18 years and then got out of it for about 4, and we're just really delighted she wanted to get back, and especially that she's here.
You were so synonymous with the men's game for so many years, but it sounds like you've developed an appreciation for the women's game and their abilities now.
Well, I've always had that because Kathy was, a very fine player until she hurt her knees, and I just, they've got to get by with a lot of skill. There's some physical ability, and they use it, but primarily it's a skill game, and I've always enjoyed watching that kind of basketball.
You see a little Dick Bennett defense out there tonight?
Well, I see the philosophy. Kathy, you know, has been allowed to work that part of the game here, and I see them trying to do some things, and actually I'm fairly impressed with the way they're playing defense.
Well, Dick Bennett led the Wisconsin men's team to the Final Four in 2000, and now he's enjoying his daughter coaching with Wisconsin in the women's game. Jineen, back to you.
McLean scores the first 2 points of the half for the Panthers. Now, Stephanie, let me ask you, how tough is it going from being a head coach to being an assistant coach?
Well, I think it's an adjustment, but what Kathy Bennett has here with Lisa Stone is the ability to be a defensive coordinator, so to speak. And she has full reign with the defensive unit, and we saw it in practice yesterday, we see it in the huddles today, and she's really getting this team to play with intensity and to play with the defensive prowess that you need to in order to be successful.
Another score, that was Williams for the Panthers. So the Panthers open up a 4-0. I don't want to call it a run just yet, but 2 quick baskets by the Panthers out of halftime.
Their intensity is picking up. Like, you know, Coach Botham is wanting this team to really play with a poise, to play with an intensity. She talked about this team being emotional and want to take the emotion out of it, and that's what they need to do. And they're doing a good job of really turning up their intensity and really forcing Wisconsin right here. Just a little dribble penetration. Alyssa Carroll's off. So what does Williams do? She reads that, she pulls up with confidence and shoots it. It's different when you're pulling up and you don't have that confidence, but when you have that intensity, that focus, and that confidence, you can knock those shots down.
Classic stop and pop. And the Badgers will inbound. Zastro.
See Jade Davis in the game early. She knocked out a couple of shots, so she's in there to put the ball in the hole.
Ashley Thomas working on the inside.
And Milwaukee sticking with this little 2-3 zone right here, trying to get Wisconsin right there. But that's what you have to do. You have to break it down with penetration or break it down with a pass.
D'Elia off the mark. Turquoise McCain will get it inside to Edwards. There's that swarming defense you were talking about, Steph.
It is. She got to make a move. I mean, you know it's coming. You got to make a move, and she got the foul right there on Zasha. Right there, you catch it. You got position. You catch it. Make a move. Turn to the baseline. Turn to the middle. Right there. She's not going to have time to really catch and face up because the players are going to be coming in and digging in, and that's what the guards have been doing.
Kind of like the quarterback. We can only block for you for so long.
Absolutely.
Edwards gets her shot blocked by Zastro.
And that's the size advantage that Zastro has. And you get a block, and what do? You turn it into points on the other end. You either get a layup or you get to the free throw line. And T again, you did a good job. Right here, defense. Zastro does a good job of three-quartering on the high side, but once the catch is made, she's right there behind. She's got good size. All she has to do is stand straight up, and she does a great job of defending and not fouling.
Tia Gant will go to the line. She's shooting 50% from the free throw line.
Number 11,
Tia Gant, one of those players, she's a slasher. She gets to the rim. We just saw that, and she's a great defender. She sets the tone for this Wisconsin team on the defensive end. She's long, she's quick, she's athletic, and she gets it done. And this year she's been asked to take on a little bit more of a scoring role, as is this entire team.
You know, Coach Stone said that she was really one of the X factors on this team, so they're really looking to her to give them a lift.
And she has the ability to do that on both ends of the floor.
Little shoulder pass there off the shoulder of Lauer. Williams checking inside. Good ball denial. Ball on ball defense, I should say, but another whistle.
Right here, good pressure on the ball. On the three-quarter high on the high side, Zastro, she's done such a good job of defending. She doesn't need to reach there and create that foul.
Stephanie, let's just talk about the scoring by committee by Wisconsin as opposed to having the top scorer. The Panthers, they have Edwards, but the Badgers, they're really a scoring by committee. What would you prefer as a coach?
Well, I prefer to have the best both worlds as a coach. I mean,
cake and eat it too, huh?
But yeah, exactly. But this is a Wisconsin team that's really completely changed. I mean, for so long, their offense was based on Jolene Anderson. She's the most prolific scorer in Wisconsin history, men or women. She has the career record here. And a lot of times when you have a player like that, other players around tend to stand and watch. And when you have a player like that who can score at will, it's easy. You put the shoulder, they shoulder the load. But now you have a different identity. These players have to come into their own. They have to think about, oh, I have an opportunity to shoot the ball. And this is what this Wisconsin team's doing. Right there you see Tracy Edwards again stepping out, knocking down the three. She's going to create opportunities for herself down on the paint, but this is an added dimension to her game. Coach Botham talked about her work ethic. She's continued to get better. She feels like she's reached her full potential, and as a coach, she says that's what you want to do. You want your players to reach their full potential.
Edwards knocks down her second three of the game. Again, driving down the middle. Good looking move there by her.
She needs to do more of that. She has that ability. She goes left right there, finishes that with ease, and she has the ability to take anybody on the floor to the basket. And if she doesn't get a layup, she can find her open teammate.
Nice give and go there between Edwards and Williams. Pardon me, McCain.
That's a great give and go opportunity, and Edwards, that's what she has to do. You know it's going to come, but right here, Tia Gant, she has that ability to get to the rim at will, and she needs to take advantage of that more often in this offense. And I think she's one of those players that you just wait for that light to come on and for her to say, hey, I can do this. I can take this an offensive load on this team. I'm not strictly a defensive specialist right now, and she has the ability to do that.
Turquoise McCain at the line. Fine time to have a name like McCain, huh?
It sure is.
Last name. She's off the mark. She's a 75% free throw shooter. Last year, she suffered a season-ending foot injury. So this year, this is kind of, her chance to show what she has.
It is one of those players who unfortunately was injured in the middle of the season, but all defensive teams, she's a player who's long on the perimeter. We see a lot of defensive pressure on the ball by these guards from Milwaukee, and then taking on a new role in the offensive end, and Coach Botham calls her the X Factor.
Anya Covington over Edwards.
Great job of Anya Covington of being able to finish that basket. She's a player who came in and I think early has exceeded expectation. They talked about her being a pleasant surprise, but she has a tremendous work ethic. In the media guide, it asked what being a Wisconsin Badger means, and she said opportunity, and she's taking advantage of her opportunity.
What a body this young kid has. If you just look at her body as a freshman, imagine what she's going to look like by her junior, senior year.
Yeah, there's a lot to look forward to from Anya Covington.
The Badgers have scored 12 points in the paint to Milwaukee's 4.
And that's a good job of Gann, again, getting into the paint, takes the mid-range jumper. It didn't fall, but that's a move she needs to make.
Going inside of Lauer, nowhere to go, so she'll take it, kick it out.
Moving the ball. You have to be able to go from side to side. And another dimension that Tracy Edwards adds to her game. She's hit a couple of shots when they come out, they have to guard her, and then she takes them off the dribble. Great job. And
Badgers with the lead.
We first talked on the phone.
Madison, where the Wisconsin Badgers lead UW-Milwaukee 35-28. It's 30 minutes dedicated to the world of Big Ten women's athletics. The kind of coverage you can't get anywhere else. The Big Ten Women's Show, Mondays at 7:30 p.m. Eastern on the Big Ten Network. Well, Wisconsin's field goal shooting isn't all that great, but their free throw shooting continues to improve. They struggled early in the year, but they were 18 of 21 against Baylor in that big win down in the Virgin Islands. Tonight, Wisconsin 12 of 13, and if they continue that, that will serve them well in the tough physical Big Ten Conference.
Thanks, Jay. Zastro has a new career high, Steph, 4 blocks as Lauer pulls the trigger on the three-pointer.
And she's done a good job of just making Tracy Edwards work and then standing straight up and getting an opportunity. And that's another great take by Tia Gant. Doesn't finish, but she's got to continue to be aggressive.
Lauer will bring the ball up the floor for the Panthers.
One-on-one opportunity. We haven't seen that yet. That's the first time that Tracy Edwards has had a one-on-one opportunity on the block. And a good job of Anya Covington of staying straight up and not fouling.
A collision on the floor between Carroll and several Milwaukee players. Just give everybody a foul.
And that's one of the Alyssa Carroll, I mean, she's so tough, but she just lays it all out there every time on the floor. Not afraid to get on the floor after loose balls. One of those players that, again, leads by example with her toughness and her intensity.
Jay Davis stops and pops and scores.
what a lift Jade Davis has been to be able to knock down 2 threes. And then you see a one dribble pull up right there. You see different elements to her game. I mean, this is a young player that's coming in, and in this game right now playing with a lot of confidence, and it's what Wisconsin needs. 8 players that have scored. The balance that we talk about.
Scoring by committee. Coach Stone talked about it. And Anya Covington charged with the foul inside as she defends Edwards.
And Anya Covington, a young player, trying to defend them. But right here, first we're going to see Jade Davis. She's hit 2 threes from that spot in the first half. Pull it up, shot fake, and then Edwards gets it one-on-one. Anya Covington, that's a young player right there. She's got to understand, stand straight up, make her finish. If Edwards hits a shot over her, she deserves to make that shot.
Yeah, I'd like to know the wingspan of Anya Covington. As she heads to the bench, and Zastro will give her a breather.
Anya Covington again, what a pleasant surprise to be able to come in. She's done a tremendous job on the boards when they were down in the Virgin Islands. Had 2 games where she career high 10 rebounds and then another career high. And Tracy Edwards, we see 11 points, looking for her 12th right here. 15 ties the school record, 16 breaks it. She's on her way.
More full court pressure by the Panthers.
Nice look inside. Oh, Zastro's got to finish that. A good job of Dunham. Again, another player from the bench who has given them a huge lift. 22 points from the bench right now. Talk about a lift from your bench players. They come in, everybody on this team knows what their role is. They know that they're going to get it done by committee, and they've accepted that role, and they come out and they play hard.
Jineen Williams posting up strong on the inside, but not enough for the 6'3", 6'2" forwards on the inside for the Badgers.
Right here, great look inside. Zastro does a good job. When Tracy Edwards is guarding her on the high side, she rides her up the lane line. And when you ride them up the lane line, give yourself guard an opportunity to make that pass. She's got to finish that, though. That's a great look by Dunham. A good job of crashing the offense board, not giving up on the play.
I think Zastro turned around, Steph, and couldn't believe there was nobody stepping up, and kind of freaked her out. She missed the shot.
I think so. You're used to as a post player when you get that wide open. Help side sliding over, and there wasn't any help side. And sometimes when you're too open, it distracts you just as much as having a defender there.
Yeah. Dunham connects on the free throws, and the Badgers open up a 9-point lead. Ball nearly stolen away, and straight down the middle is Marika Hickman in a battle for the offensive board. The ball will stay with the Panthers. That foul was called on Jade Davis, her second 16 foul. Tara Steinbauer into the game for Zastro. I noticed, you don't notice Zastro and Steinbauer playing together very much, Stephanie. What of it?
No, I think that they're both the same type of player, and they're both physical players who are low block players but can also come out at the 3. But you have a different dimension when they're playing with players like Dunham, who can get up and down the floor a little bit more, with Thomas, with Covington, who are a little bit more athletic players. You don't want the same type of player in at the same time, especially when you're talking about playing with a team that's as versatile as Milwaukee.
Jineen Williams, no one to pass it to. She kind of just threw it in. Good look inside by D'Elia to Carroll, and she'll go to the line to shoot 2.
And part of D'Elia's ability to find her open player at the right time. I mean, when you're a point guard, it's easy to pass the ball around and find your open player, but you got to get it to them at a point and a time where it's going to make them successful. And that's one of the areas that Raylan D'Elia is really, really special in.
Carroll connects on the first free throw. Alyssa Carroll actually played AAU basketball with Tara Steinbauer, as well as Lindsay Lauer.
Yeah, Lindsay Lauer from Milwaukee. Those kids from Minnesota all kind of played on the same teams and know each other's strengths and weaknesses. I'll end up here.
Number 4, Tara Steinbauer. That's her first T7. Number 43,
Good defensive effort right here. When you talk about spacing for Milwaukee, right here you've got players outside the perimeter. Right there, get a little bit turned in, but you want to outside the perimeter, allow Edwards space inside on the post.
Jorgensen, first free throw is good by her. Only her third free throw of the year. Second one no good, so she'll have to settle for being 3 for 4. A battle for the offensive board, and Turquoise McCain in the middle of that jump ball. It'll go to the Badgers. And you see Coach Botham not so pleased with the offensive effort of her team today.
Well, and again, they're trying to change the tide a little bit from a tempo standpoint. Again, putting pressure on Wisconsin and making someone else handle the ball, making them make quick decisions. And great space again. 4 out on the perimeter, opens it up for a one-on-one opportunity. It's a great pass and a great finish.
Tara Steinbauer with her 6th point of the night. That brings the Badgers points in the paint to 16 to Milwaukee's just 4.
And Milwaukee really clearing out that weak side too. They've got to be able to deliver the ball. Let's see right here, Wisconsin spacing. You got all 4 around the perimeter, opens up a lane right there for Tara Steinbauer. No help side. When you have no help side and you can finish like that, that is exactly right there why Wisconsin has taken the lead in this basketball game.
When I first saw Joshua, it was, oh my gosh, this guy's on eHarmony. I didn't want anyone to know that I was secretly having someone else find someone for me. I was done dating. When you own your own business, there's no time to go out. So I went on eHarmony to let them find Mr. Right for me.
Find out who you're matched with. Log on and review your matches for free. eHarmony.com.
I'm Rick Pizzo. Coming up on the Big Ten Tonight finale, the challenge reaches new heights with a pair of top 10 teams squaring off in West Lafayette. Highlights and analysis says Purdue plays host to Duke. It's all orange in Champaign. We'll let you know if the Illini could stay red hot in a battle of unbeatens against Clemson. And we'll preview Wednesday's Clash of the Titans. Michigan State getting ready for top-ranked North Carolina. It's all on the Big Ten Tonight finale after Women's Hoops.
All season long, see the excitement of Big Ten basketball online with BigTenNetwork.com's live game streaming. Get top men's and women's matchups free right on your computer screen. Don't miss this week's great lineup of games, live, free, and on demand at BigTenNetwork.com.
For Wisconsin, and I'm the starting point guard for the Wisconsin Badgers. I'm Italian, so our family's really loud. I love all sports. Oh, I really like Nastia Lukin from the 2008 Olympics, the gymnast. Wisconsin basketball. See ya.
And Raylyn D'Elia, she told us, she said if she could have any job, it would be coaching in Division I. So you think she has a future?
Oh, I think absolutely. And, you know, talking about loving all sports, she was a wrestler in 6th and 7th grade. She played quarterback for a grade school team. I mean, she plays everything. She does everything.
Coach Stone says she is the defensive leader on the team. Turquoise McCain checking inside. Skip pass to no one. And the Badgers with a commanding lead over the Panthers. We'll have more action after this.
Maybe your own price, huh?
Yeah, they want $200 for a 4-star on the Vegas Strip. I'm going $190.
Oh, you wuss.
What?
Go lower.
$160?
Namby-pamby.
$99.
In Madison, Wisconsin leading 45-31. Big Ten women's basketball. We've got game 2 of our women's hoop doubleheader coming up next with Northwestern hosting Marquette. Coverage begins immediately following this game on the Big Ten Network. And we're going to see Wisconsin right here moving the ball on the perimeter. If we stop it right here, look what we have. We've got 4 outside the 3-point line. Opens it up for a one-on-one opportunity with Tara Steinbauer, and that's exactly what Wisconsin wants. Great spacing, gets you efficient, good looks, no help from the weak side because they've got shooters over there, so they can't help on it. Steinbauer gets an easy one-on-one opportunity. And that's the continuity and the flow that you want. When you're not in an offensive flow, you tend to crowd the lane. Everybody's inside the three-point line. There's not good spacing. There's not patience on offense, and Wisconsin's really done a good job. And we can see Milwaukee right here changing it up again, going to a 1-2-1-1 half-court trap, trying to make something happen on the defensive end.
That time before, Steinbauer did a good job of sealing on the inside step.
She did. She did a good job of knowing where the defender was and knowing where she was on the floor. And again, we see good spacing, penetration, nice little jump shot by Carroll.
Alyssa Carroll with her 8th point of the night, and the scoring by committee continues by the Badgers.
It does. This Badger team is very balanced. Anybody can step up on any given night. They have 10 players that average double-digit minutes. They play a lot of people, and really this team is all about team. We talked about it in the open. T-E-A-M, and that's what it's about. That's how they get it done.
Nice move inside by Jineen Williams.
Great take by Williams. Again, breaking down the defense with penetration, and we see another change, a 2-2-1. Maybe they're going 2-2-1 on the make. Maybe they're going back to the 1-2-2. Drop it back with something to make Wisconsin think.
One of the things that Coach Stone talked about when we talked to her earlier, she said they have to be prepared for the changing defenses of the Panthers.
They do, and have to be poised on offense. And she talked about their shot selection and being patient. And Jade Davis, she almost had another one, but she's been a huge spark.
Ball inside to Edwards, and she scores.
And that time Milwaukee does a great job of giving Edwards an opportunity. And sometimes when you have a post player like her, you've got to get guards that pull the trigger on the pass. I can't wait until she's open, because by the time you see that she's open right there, you got to throw that right away. She's got the seal. She's got the position. By the time you wait and say, oh, she's open, and make that pass, it's too late. She's defended. You've got to know early she's going to work to get the position, get her the ball, let her score.
Tracy Edwards with her 15th point of the night.
And that ties the career scoring record at UW-Milwaukee. One more and she's breaking it.
Stephanie, it seems like Tracy Edwards is really the only one, aside from some key moves by Williams, but really the only one looking to score the basketball every time for the Panthers.
Well, she is. I mean, they have an inside-outside game, but it's based upon what Tracy Edwards does, and you have to give her the ball. But, you know, if you're Milwaukee, you've got to get somebody else to step up and make a play, somebody else to be that consistent second option. And then when you have the two, from a guard standpoint and from a post standpoint, it opens up opportunities for your teammates.
Raylin D'Elia shot the ball, got her own rebound, and was able to reset the offense, but then a turnover by the Badgers.
Another turnover. We heard Coach Stone talk about it in practice. She hates turnovers as much as she hates spinach.
And I said I like spinach.
I like spinach too, but I don't like turnovers.
McLean on the left angle with the ball, looking inside to a posting guard. How about that, Steph?
Well, I think Williams does a good job of getting position, and right there, that opens up an opportunity for a dive from the high post, because again, Wisconsin's defense, you've got a guard on the block this time, and when another guard goes to double, that dive is wide open.
Zastro at the high post.
Milwaukee staying in the zone.
Kind of shot that ball. Didn't really seem like she wanted to.
Yeah, I think she was a little bit indecisive on that play. Right there, get her the ball. That's where you got to get her the ball. You see that she's open, pass it right away. Step around that defender, wrap around, and get her the basketball.
Carroll with the steal. She'll set things up for the Badgers.
Spacing, again, you're going to see the spacing even against the zone.
A whistle on the floor.
See Wisconsin defense, great pressure on the ball. Ball goes into the paint, digging from the guard position. And then what happens right there? A dive on the post. The weak side defender, whoever's farthest away, has to shift over in the lane. And that time, it was Mariah Dunham. She got over there. She was in a position to take a charge if need be. But it's team defense. Team defense. If one person gets beat, another player slides in behind. And that comes from chemistry. That comes from trust. Knowing I can get up there, I can pressure the ball because I know my teammates got my back.
19
Great rebound. Great rebound. Breaks the record. I mean, that's what a way to break the record. A great rebound off of a free throw, offensive rebound. And with that basket, Tracy Edwards becomes the all-time leading scorer at UW-Milwaukee.
Stephanie really slow and methodical in her offense. She doesn't really play fast. She scored all these points very slowly.
And you know, sometimes that's a good thing. It's patience. It's really not being in a rush. It's being poised. But at the same time, sometimes you've got to be able to catch and make a move. And you have to be able to get a feel for your defender and feel for the defense and how they're playing you. But she's managed to get it done. She's had to work for every bit of it, but she's gotten it done.
Ball thrown back inside to Edwards. Barnes takes it baseline, nowhere to go with it. She'll get it to McClain. McClain inside and over Carroll.
And Milwaukee has the ability to get to the basket. When they have guards who are athletic and who can beat people off the dribble, you've got to be able to take advantage of those opportunities. And in the first half, they didn't do that. They've started to do that, being a little bit more aggressive and a little less tentative on the offensive end in the second half.
D'Elia, the shot. But there's Thomas with the offensive board and the foul. The foul on the floor.
We can see right here, offensive rebound, great job again in position. Tracy Edwards breaks the career scoring record, but Wisconsin still with a 9-point lead.
First time I took 5.
Madison, and we're talking about Tracy Edwards from UW-Milwaukee, breaks the career scoring record. She has done everything that she can, but it's been difficult right there. What a rebound, one-handed, and the left hand goes up to finish, and that breaks the career scoring mark at UW-Milwaukee. And she's third in the nation in active career point leaders. Courtney Paris, Angel McCautry from Louisville, those are great people to be associated with when you talk about scoring. And all she's done since she's been at Milwaukee is put the ball in the hole.
Hey, those are some heavy hitters, like you mentioned, that she's up there with, and she's at the free throw line right now, trying to cut into this lead some more. Milwaukee on an 11-2 run, make that a 12-2 run.
Well, and you talk about Tracy Edwards. I mean, we talked earlier about how nothing was coming easy, and it wasn't. And now she's sitting there with 20 points. How does she get 20 points? Well, she steps out, and she hits a couple of threes. So what does that do? It opens up the paint. Come in. Milwaukee has 12 points in the paint. They only had 2 at half, so they're doing a great job of now getting the ball inside off of dribble penetration, getting the ball to Tracy Edwards a little bit earlier in the offense and letting her go to work.
Into the game for the Panthers, Amanda Vinehauser. And Edwards will get a breather. Full court pressure once again by the Panthers.
Milwaukee on a 12-2 run. Wisconsin looking to put some points on the board right now. A 7-point lead, and again, this is a Wisconsin team that plays offensively in spurts. Their constant has been their defense, getting it done on the defensive end. And we're seeing Milwaukee being a lot more aggressive on the offensive end.
Turquoise, McCain, and Lauer. Lauer doing what they do best, checking inside.
And again, you're seeing the guards post, looking to go to work on the block.
Good defense by the Badgers there. Shot clock down to 3, 2. And the ball is chucked up and doesn't draw iron, so another turnover for the Panthers.
And we see it again, a shot clock violation. Wisconsin turns up the defensive intensity. You come out, you pressure the ball, very active beyond the three-point line. The ball goes into a guard on the post, and you see a lot of digging and recovering. So much of this defense is about showing and recovering and showing and recovering and making the offense take 2 or 3 seconds longer than they would normally.
Panthers in a zone. Ball is skipped across to Carroll. She can't connect. Battle for the rebound there. There is Turquoise.
Milwaukee looking to push the ball, create a little bit more tempo, not let Wisconsin get set on the defensive end. Good help. Great help defense, but don't foul. Good job of Milwaukee delivering the ball to their post player. Right here you can see we have McClain making that nice little pass to B-House. Alyssa Carroll is right where she needs to be on the help. She gets there on the catch. Don't foul. Make her finish over you. A lot of times you talk about help. You want to be there on the catch, be there before she catches it, not be too late. Perfect position on defense. Just stand straight up.
One of the things that you have to give Sandy Botham's club a credit for. They really stayed constant to what their system is, and that's pounding the ball inside. Coach said that they're an inside-outside team, but you mentioned it before. Everything goes through the middle.
It does. Everything goes through the paint, and we talked about Wisconsin needing to defend the paint, and they've done a good job of that. But Milwaukee staying poised, staying confident in their offense, becoming a little bit more aggressive and a little bit more confident, but sticking with the game plan.
Pressure defense by the Panthers. Badgers able to get it over half court.
Staying in the zone. Trying to make Wisconsin beat them with jump shots. And you see Zastro a lot in that zone, be able to play that high post area and step out to the three.
D'Elia charged with traveling. So it seems like this onslaught of pressure, if you will, is working for the Panthers so far.
It is. The Panthers are playing this little half-court trap back into a little 1-2-2 or 3-2 zone. And what happens is you force Wisconsin to think on the offensive end, making 1 or 2 more passes. But they're also getting the ball in the half court with 18, 17 seconds left. So they're taking time off the clock.
6-point lead for the Badgers as Edwards and company try to cut into it. Shot clock down to 8. Jineen Williams.
Edwards again, good position. When you're on the weak side, sometimes you don't always necessarily have to be inside position, but push the defender underneath the basket. Good work.
Offense reset. There's McCain inside. Nifty move there over Tia Game.
And that's the X factor right there. Turquoise McCain. Great job of penetrating to the rim, getting to the basket. Good things happen when you attack the basket. And again, we see Wisconsin a little bit indecisive, passing the ball around the perimeter. Great feed on the seam. That's what you have to do. You have to attack the zone. You attack it off the dribble or you attack it off the pass. And that was a great look by Gant in the seam, but Mariah Dunham flashing, making herself available.
McClain, she'll get it up top to Vinehauser. Ball back inside to Edwards. Little scoop shot there by her.
And Edwards, again, getting good possession. She gets good position. She gets a one-on-one opportunity. And for the first time, she's able to go to the middle. There was no one there helping. Usually she's got to make a baseline move. But she gets right there, one-on-one opportunity. We can see Wisconsin's last offensive possession. A great job of flashing to the middle of the zone by Mariah Dunham. And a good job of Tia Gant of really finding her and making that happen, attacking the zone.
If you're Coach Stone, what are you saying to your team? Clearly, you've been favored in this game, had the lead all day, but the offense finally starting to work for the Panthers. What are you telling your team?
Well, I think you say, offensively, we've got to be a little bit more efficient. We're way too passive. We're passing the ball around the perimeter, but we've got to stick with our bread and butter. What do we do well? We defend, and right now, Milwaukee is getting into the paint way too easily. We talked about the key, defending the paint, keeping them under 60, making them score from the outside, and Milwaukee is getting into the paint way too easily.
Milwaukee's defense initiating some offense and growing their confidence. They're only trailing by 4 points.
And you see defensively, they picked up the pressure on the ball, very active on the ball, and it starts with Turquoise McCain up top.
There's D'Elia, air ball.
Not able to connect. She's been short on all of her jump shots today.
Milwaukee with a 16-4 run. Let's just make that an 18-4 run.
Efficient. Efficient is what Tracy Edwards is. They get the ball to her in a timely manner, and she's able to finish. But, we talk about this Wisconsin-Milwaukee team being a veteran team. They're taking advantage of these opportunities.
Turnover on the floor. The Panthers have cut into the Badger lead. They only trail by 2.
A big run puts UW-Milwaukee back in the game. Wisconsin still leads it, but now only 51-49 at the Kohl Center. Tomorrow night, it's a big-time women's hoop matchup on the Big Ten Network. Ohio State ranked 18th against second-ranked North Carolina. Ohio State looks to prove they are ready for the spotlight. Tip-off 7 p.m. Eastern in HD. UW-Milwaukee head coach Sandy Botham, as we told you, returning to her hometown of Madison, Wisconsin, and coaching with a heavy heart tonight. Her father, Tuck, recently passed away. This is the first game that Tuck has not seen her as UWM's head coach since his death. But the Panthers are right back in it, and it's 51-49, Jineen.
Thanks, Jay. Milwaukee only trails by 2, Steph. They haven't led this game since 7-6 at 9:53 in the first half. They're on their way.
Well, Milwaukee's done a great job of coming out of the half and really being in attack mode. They played a lot of the first half on their heels, a little bit timid on both ends of the floor, and they've really been attacking offense and switching up their defenses, making Wisconsin think. And really, points in the paint is where it's been the difference. 16 in the second half. Now we see Milwaukee a little bit of double teaming on the post and having to take a timeout.
A little bit of swarming defense, like you mentioned.
It is, and that's a possession where, again, Milwaukee's changing it up. This is a young Wisconsin team having to think on the fly, having to adjust on the fly, and every time they change it, it makes Wisconsin think a little bit more. They need to be poised, they need to make sure they take care of the basketball, and they need to make sure that they get good shots. But again, it's part of the growing process.
Now, Stephanie, do you want to say, do you think that legs are becoming a factor since Wisconsin just got back from the Virgin Islands?
I think it could be. I mean, 3 games in 3 days. We heard they had a little bit of travel nightmares, getting in late,
Sunday evening,
and coming back, and yeah, I mean, it definitely could be a little fatigue, but that's where mentally they've got to be able to step up. And now when we take a look at Milwaukee, their upcoming games: Washington State, Illinois, Central Michigan. I mean, they don't have a cupcake schedule. They're really getting after it with the teams that they play, and you want to be the best, you play the best. And Sandy Botham talked about this program and wanting to take it to the next level, and that's how you do it, by playing that kind of competition.
Carroll throws up the 3, it rims out, and the Panthers are off to the races. Jineen Williams sees an opening and scores.
Exactly what you got to keep doing, being in attack mode, and we have seen Milwaukee do that. And Raylan D'Elia with another turnover. That's her 5th of the game. But, I mean, Milwaukee come out of the second half, and they're just a different basketball team. Great penetration right there. Little hesitation, explodes to the basket, knows where she is. Great body control, goes straight up, doesn't float into the defender, and a tremendous finish.
Williams with 1-on-3 there. That's her 10th point of the night, and good defense just after that by Lauer, forcing the turnover by D'Elia.
And Milwaukee shooting 52% the second half, only shot 27 the first half, but again, attacking. They're attacking the paint.
Now, in the first half, Milwaukee only shot 27% from the field, but 52% here in the second half.
Right there, you see Lynn Zastro tries to get behind, grabs her just a little bit, and then on the shot, instead of standing straight up, a little bit out. But Tracy Edwards does a good job of drawing contact. Sometimes you have players who just have that knack to draw contact, and she's been dominant this second half down low.
Well, if you didn't think it was a foul, all you have to do is just look at Tracy Edwards' ponytail.
Oh, yeah.
As she gets her 24th point of the night from that first free throw.
And Milwaukee staying in that zone. I mean, until Wisconsin makes an adjustment and really makes a shot. They need to continue, Wisconsin, to flash into the middle. And you can see Turquoise McCain trying to take that high post away. Again, you can attack it with the pass, or you can attack it off the drive.
The Panthers with their first lead, and just like that, Dunham ends it.
And how big has Mariah Dunham been off the bench? What a great job of stepping out, knocking down a big shot. She gave him a lift in the first half, her and Jade Davis both. But right here, seeing where the defense is, stepping out, bringing Tracy Edwards out, knocking down a jump shot. That is a huge, huge play. That's a big-time play by Mariah Dunham. Good job, again, stepping out, knowing where she is, knocking down the 3. And what that does right there is it opens it up. Next time she steps out, they're going to come out and guard her. What's she going to do? She's going to shot fake, and she's going to take them off the dribble. She's going to bring the back of that zone out, open up the middle, and that's what you have to do.
Dunham actually really giving quality minutes to Coach Stone tonight. The average is 11 minutes. Look at the field goal percentage here. 52% in the second half.
Very efficient, and that's like what you were talking about earlier, sticking with the game plan, knowing that it's going to pay off, but it's a different mentality. We see a different energy level from this Milwaukee team in the second half.
The Badgers with a 2-point lead. looking to tie up the game.
Big possession right here for both teams. If you're Wisconsin, you've got to get a stop. If you're Milwaukee, you want to get a score, get to the free throw line.
Edwards thought about the three. Lauer thought about the three. Ball thrown inside to Edwards, and it's stolen away.
Alyssa Carroll. Big-time players make big-time plays. She made a clutch defensive play right there, getting in, digging in on Edwards, and creating that steal opportunity.
56 seconds remain in the game. The Badgers with a 2-point lead.
And again, they can't stay around the perimeter. Got to attack the defense. Attack it with the pass or attack it off the dribble.
Shot clock at 7. Ball inside to Zastro. Back out. And Dunham.
What a job by Lynn Zastro. She didn't get the rebound, but she created an opportunity for her teammate. Big possession. She's long. She was able to get a tip. Jade Davis swarms in and gets that rebound. That's a huge play by Lynn Zastro.
About a 6-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock.
Milwaukee having to extend their defense a little bit right now.
Now's as good a time as any to foul right here, Steph.
Well, you know, I think if you're Milwaukee, you know there's a difference, and you know you have the athletes to be able to drive it down the floor.
D'Elia trying to make something happen as the shot clock ran down, but an offensive foul, so the ball will go back to Milwaukee.
And coming up next, Big Ten women's basketball doubleheader. Northwestern hosts Marquette. Coverage begins immediately following this game on the Big Ten Network. 10 seconds right here. Milwaukee's trying to make a play, and a great timeout right there. Sandy Botham really wants to talk to her team, get them to understand they got to get a good shot opportunity, or they want to make sure that they have a time to draw up a play. And I mean, it's no question where the ball's going. It's going to Tracy Edwards.
Let's just look at the last offensive foul here. D'Elia trying to make something happen, Steph.
Yeah, she is. I mean, a little bit lackadaisical with the ball right there by Dunham, but D'Elia trying to make something happen, and that's Tracy Edwards doing a good job of taking a charge right there. There's a little bit of a difference in the shot clock, and right here, this was a big play. Lynn Zastro couldn't get the rebound, but knew her teammate was there, tipped it. That is a smart play.
And you see the guard play, Jade Davis right there in the middle, crashing the boards as well.
Absolutely, and a great job in Milwaukee of really defending that play. They didn't panic, they didn't foul, they knew there was a differential. They have the athletes to really push the ball up the floor. But right now, we're going to see execution, and we're going to see the ball go to Tracy Edwards. Now, whether she shoots it or not is a different story, but she's going to touch it. Right now, out of bounds, they're clearing out the weak side, looking to get her a one-on-one opportunity in the post, and that's exactly right. Jade Davis has to get down there and help make somebody beat you from the outside.
7 seconds remain. Ball inside to Edwards. She flips it up and she scores. The game is tied up 54-54 with 4.7 seconds remaining.
Well, we know where the ball's going to go, and she does a good job of really getting the ball in the middle of the paint. It comes into Turquoise McCain, cleared out the weak side, one-on-one opportunity in the middle. You got to get down there and dig. Make somebody else beat you. You know that Tracy Edwards is getting the ball. Make somebody else beat you. Right there, a one-on-one opportunity. She's efficient, she's dominant, she puts the ball in the hole. If she gets a one-on-one opportunity, she's going to score it.
Absolutely. This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Big Ten Conference and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Big Ten Conference.
Well, we see right here what we have. We have 4.8 seconds. Wisconsin got the timeout before they inbounded it, so they're going to be inbounding it the full length of the court. And if I'm Wisconsin, I'm giving the ball to Alyssa Carroll, and I'm letting her penetrate the basketball and come up with a shot. And we see Kathy Bennett, and then we see Dick Bennett wanting to know what happened on that defensive play right there. But being in the close, this is what you want. This is what you live for. These are the moments. Alyssa Carroll, huge shot against Baylor to win the basketball game. You put it in her hands, she will make something happen. They may not score, they will for sure get the last shot and not give Milwaukee an opportunity.
I tell you what, the last 4 games, if we include this one by Wisconsin, that their last 4 games have all come down to the wire. So this is keeping in stride with what's been going on.
It is, and it's a great learning experience for these young players to be in these situations, especially early in the season. It's going to make them tougher, it's going to make them smarter, it's going to help them understand time and score situations.
4.8 seconds, Steph, what do we do here?
Get the ball to Carroll, let her make a play.
Carroll is tripped up.
She's trying to call a timeout.
She's trying to call a timeout. Officials missed that. Carroll definitely called a timeout. I don't think the officials saw, but she was certainly tangled up.
She was. I mean, she fell on the ground, and as soon as she fell on the ground, she made a call for a timeout. And you can see just gets a little bit tripped up right here on the feet, comes down, gets the ball, and is trying to call timeout right away. They weren't able to see that, though. One more look at it. You can
all
see
tied up, 54-54. We're going to overtime, ladies and gentlemen.
They desire greatness, demand respect, define success, and let true passion.
It's a close one at the Kohl Center, 54-54. 5-minute overtime coming up. But before that, we're going to talk about Marquette visiting Northwestern. Big Ten really getting after it. Big East, Big Ten. Great opportunity for Northwestern to get a win on their home court. But coming up right now, we have a 5-minute overtime. We saw the tale of two halves from Milwaukee. They came out in the first half a little bit tentative. In the second half, all aggressive in attack mode. Wisconsin kind of the other way around. They looked a little bit tentative. You can see the field goal percentage right now. 27% in the first half, 32 for Wisconsin in the first half, and both teams stepping it up. In Milwaukee, 54%. That's efficiency, and that's getting the ball in the paint. Points in the paint differential has been huge.
We're going to tip things off with Zastro and Edwards. And the Badgers will kick things off here in overtime. Who would have thought, Stephanie, in the first half, if you look at the first half to now, who would have thought that this is where we'd be now?
It is, but I'll tell you what, Milwaukee, we talked about a veteran team, an experienced team. They know that they just got to chip away. They've got to stay within the system. They've got to be able to defend and knock shots down, and they did. They stuck with it, and they made it happen. Lynn Zastro, a great job right there being strong with the basketball.
Zastro, strong offensive rebound. That's her 5th point of the night. Zastro has to be careful. She has 4 fouls, Steph.
She has 4 fouls, and she's guarding Tracy Edwards. I mean, that's a tough assignment. They're going to have to give her some help down there on the defensive end.
Lindsay Lauer, the 3, but Turquoise, it's no good, but Turquoise McCain in there for the board, but she loses the ball.
Great job right there. Jay Davis has hit some shots. That's a great shot for her to take. Lynn Zasher working the offensive glass. Big girl does a great job of getting position and then finishing.
Looked like she might have knocked down a couple people, too.
Hey, you do what it takes.
There is an injury on the floor. That's McCain. Excuse me, McClain.
Yeah, I couldn't really see what happened. There's a scramble for the ball, but she's limping a little bit, so maybe got a little bit of an ankle. But right now, we're Mariah Dunham at the free throw line. It's a big possession. We can see the injury right here. Looks like, oh yeah, she got rolled that ankle. Dunham, after that ball.
Definitely got rolled on. That is, that's a sight.
And you know, anytime you see that, you're just cringing.
Yeah, I have to tell you, so being a player myself, I can't stand to see leg injuries, ankle injuries, knee injuries. I always have to turn away, or I just cringe.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, you know, you suffered some injuries. I had to cringe back in the day when I watched you hurt your ankle.
You're aging me. I see how you are. Back in the day, 10 years ago.
58-54, Badgers with a 4-point lead, make that a 2-point lead.
Go to the hot hand. Tracy Edwards has been given an opportunity in a one-on-one coverage right there. You've got to send somebody down there to help. She's getting great position, and she's making a quick move.
Edwards with her 28th point of the night. It'll be 30 soon.
Staying in the zone. Wisconsin's got to find a way to attack that zone.
D'Elia in the corner, no good.
Short
Williams
again.
there for that rebound.
D'Elia short again. Every shot that she's taken. Milwaukee looking push tempo, push tempo.
One official say it was out on the Badgers.
We'll see the replay right here. Ball passed up ahead to Edwards. Oh, wow. It looks like they both got a touch on it. But
I don't know. I want to believe that Edwards got her hands out of there.
I don't know. I mean, that's a tough angle. See if she's got some fingernails. Posting up a guard again. Really done a good job taking advantage of that, but that time, great defense. We see it swarming.
The Badgers going back to what really worked for them in the first half.
You got to continue to do that.
58-56, 3:10 remaining.
Got to find a way to really attack the gaps of this zone, whether it's through penetration, whether it's flashing to the middle of the zone. But right now, just passing around the perimeter is not working. We're settling for jump shots.
Shot clock down to 2. Carroll throws one up. It looked like it was partially blocked by Edwards. Shot clock violation. Excuse me.
Milwaukee doing a great job.
Picks up the ball.
Great job on the defensive end, forcing Wisconsin to take jump shots, and again, forcing Wisconsin to make decisions at the end of the shot clock.
Williams goes 1-on-4, it looks like.
And we've seen that. Williams has that great ability, that quick first step to get around a defender, and then she has the great body control and is able to finish that shot.
Williams with her 12th point of the night.
Nice move. Gotta be able to finish.
Now, missing a layup like that, Stephanie, is it a case of not getting your eyes up on the rim, just turning and shooting?
Well, I think it could be that. I think, you know, we've seen a lot of their shots short, maybe a little bit of fatigue, but Williams taking over right now. Oh, my goodness. She is hitting everything. Jump shots, just getting to the rim, but you can see her fire and her emotion. Coach Botham talked about she has an edge about her, and you can see her right now taking the ball to the rim, splitting those defenders. Great body control. Protects the ball with her body, able to finish. And right here, what has she done? She's taken you to the basket. You go under the screen to try to beat her to the spot, but she brings it back and knocks down the jump shot. This is a player who has that edge, who has that ability to do that. And keys to success, keep it under 60. They're at 60 right now. We're in overtime. Force the Panthers outside. Look at this, points in the paint. 2 in the first half. 20 in the second half. If you don't believe it, Coach Sandy Botham was saying, we've got to pound the ball in the paint at halftime. Boy, they've come out and they've responded.
Now, Coach Botham has to be pleased with what she sees from Williams. She told me that Williams gives her a lot of trouble. She said they have a lot of battles in practice. Good trouble. They have a lot of battles in practice, and you can tell by her energy and enthusiasm, Coach Botham has to be pleased.
You can. I mean, she's probably one of those players that sometimes get a little bit out of control emotionally and with the ball a little bit, but she has been extremely aggressive on the offensive end, and they needed somebody to turn the tide, and she's been that player.
Milwaukee 3 of 4 from the field in this second half. Excuse me, in this overtime, and the Badgers just 1 for 5.
Well, and Wisconsin not giving themselves an opportunity. You know, Lisa Stone talks about getting quality shots and about making sure that they can hit quality shots. And Tracy Edwards getting it done, 28 points. She's now the leading scorer, UW-Milwaukee history. Jineen Williams has 14. Turquoise McCain, I mean, this is a team that, again, we said we needed another player. You need another player to step up, and Jineen Williams has done that today. Big Ten women's basketball coming up next. Marquette visits Northwestern following our game here in overtime.
Northwestern has that new coach, so I'm sure they're itching to see, fans are itching to see what Northwestern is going to bring to the table today.
Joe McEwen has years of experience at George Washington, really has gotten it done, and he's bringing that experience into Northwestern, and he's really going to turn the tide, and it might take him a little bit of time, but, you know, he's got a great opportunity at Northwestern, and really cherishing and relishing that opportunity.
He's really inherited quite the player in Amy Jeske, huh?
Amy Jeske, yeah, definitely. And Mariah Dunham, 15 points, Jay Davis, 10. I mean, we talk about the balance of this Wisconsin team. They've got 8 players that have scored, 10 players that play on a consistent basis, and that's what they have to have. And they've got to be more aggressive on the offensive end. They're completely aggressive on the defensive end and do a great job, but offensively, got to find a way to get to the hole.
Badgers trail by 2, 1:47 to play.
Attack. Don't be passive against the zone.
Tia Gant found a seam and connected, and she ties things up.
And Tia Gant, again, we talked about her having that ability. She did it early in the second half, but the ability to attack off the dribble. And she's got a great pull-up. She can elevate on that pull-up. Does a good job right there. And Tracy Edwards getting the ball down low. We know where it's going. Got to be able to converge on her.
Jay Davis now defending Williams. Coach Stone trying to change things up defensively.
Good box out by Zastro. Great job. and you get somebody else to take a shot. That's what you have to do. You get Viehauser to take a shot. She's shooting the ball 25% from the floor. You get somebody else besides Edwards, try to take away Williams a little bit, make somebody else beat you.
60-60, 54 seconds to play. Air ball there by Dunham.
And that's kind of one of those time and score situations. I mean, you've got 13 seconds left on the shot clock and 50 seconds left in the game. That's not a good shot. You're a tie ball game. You've got to get a good quality shot. If it takes to using the whole shot clock, use it. You're going to get the ball back, but that's time and score. Again, another young mistake, but teaching opportunity for Lisa Stone. And I'm sure she's talking about right now. You've got to get a stop. You've got to come back. You've got to get a smart shot on the offensive end. And if you're Sandy Botham, you stick with what's working. You keep going. You keep attacking the rim.
Let's look at the Big Ten standings here. Surprisingly, Wisconsin tied for second place with Minnesota. Who would have thought?
It is, and 5-1, Wisconsin picked to be 10th in the league, and this is a team who nobody expected a lot from because they lost so much in Jolene Anderson and Janice Banks and Danielle Ward, and they come in and surprise everybody with a huge upset over Baylor, sitting 5-1. They got to be feeling pretty good.
You know, what will they need in conference? Because last year they had they did a good job in the non-conference season. What will they need in that conference?
Well, they're going to need people to step up on a night in and night out. I mean, they're going to need consistency on both ends of the floor.
60-60, 46 seconds to play. Badgers need to defend here.
And you know the ball's going to look to get inside to Tracy Edwards. You got to make sure right there. Good job, Alyssa Carroll defending. And right here, make sure contain the drive.
Viehauser. Shot clock down to 7. Viehauser for 3. This time she makes good on it.
Wow, Viehauser, 17% three-point shooter. Steps up big for Milwaukee. I mean, this is who you want shooting the ball. You want Williams to get rid of it. Right there, spacing was bad. A little bit of a show on penetration. Viehauser, that's a huge shot. She steps up and knocks that down with confidence. Take another look, penetration, Dunham gets in, contests the shot. That's a big-time shot.
Now, Stephanie, I was questioning the play before. When Viehauser took that 3, I was going to ask her, you think that was an ill-advised 3 by her, but it seems like she made us a believer.
Well, I mean, she's a young player, so sometimes when you're a young player, you don't know any difference whether time and score situations, and we saw that in Mariah Dunham on one end, then we see that in Viehauser on the other, and she steps up with confidence and she knocks that down. And if you're Milwaukee, that's what you need. You need somebody else to step up. If you're Wisconsin, you say, that's the player that's going to beat me. And she did.
What's Coach saying in that huddle there, Steph?
Well, she's saying we've got to get a stop. We've got 22 seconds left. We're a stop and a rebound away from winning this basketball game.
It'll be, if the Panthers win this game, it'll be the first time since '92 that they've had a victory. And Northwestern taking on the Marquette Eagles, Golden Eagles, here right after this game. 63-60, the Badgers trail by 3 with just 16 seconds. Davis in the corner, no good, and Turquoise will knock the ball out of bounds, so with 13 seconds remaining.
Well, and Milwaukee staying in this zone, and if you're Wisconsin, you're in the bonus. You attack, get a layup or get to the free throw line.
Carroll for 3.
Wow! Big-time players making big-time plays. Alyssa Carroll stepping up again.
Williams throws up the shot.
Wow! What a play.
And we're going to double overtime, ladies and gentlemen.
What a play. Alyssa Carroll does a great job stepping up with confidence. She is NBA three-point line. She doesn't even think about it. She catches and she shoots. We talked about it before. Big-time players making big-time plays. She knocks it down. And then we see Williams on the other end looking to get a quick score, which is what you have to do. You attack the rim. She drives into the basket. And I mean, right here, Alyssa Carroll, that's just a huge shot. And
long range.
This is a sophomore. This is a sophomore coming in and understanding, and then Williams taking it the full length of the court, trying to get a layup on the other end, a little bobble, but
nearly made it.
But Alyssa Carroll, I'm telling you what, she has really come into her own. She has stepped up. She has embraced a leadership role on the court. She wants the ball in clutch situations, and when you have a player who wants the ball and who is willing to make or miss that shot, that is a leader. She's a leader on this team, and she's a big-time player.
Did you say over?
Let's send it down to Jay. He has more on the sidelines.
Yeah, after we ended the overtime, Lisa Stone gathered her players around the huddle and said, "You may not believe this, but we're in control. So just keep doing what you're doing, get the opening tip, and let's go." But she got everybody's attention by saying, "We are in control."
Absolutely, Jay. And Stephanie, it just when you think it's over, like Jay mentioned, they are in control.
Well, it's momentum. You know, it's momentum, and what happens is you hit a big shot like that, and you come down and Milwaukee misses. You have the momentum. So now it's important. You get the tip, and you get a score, come down, get a stop, get another score. It's a 4-point swing. Or if not, you have to get a stop initially and then be in attack mode. And again, Wisconsin has got to keep the momentum, and they've got to be in attack mode.
So we're going into double overtime. Edwards and Zastro will jump ball once again. If you look at the foul situation, Zastro has to be careful. She has 4. Covington, she's been on the bench. She has 3. And Jorgensen, she has 4 fouls as well.
Well, that's the time you got to be smart. I mean, double overtime, it's one of those games where you've got to be smart on both ends of the floor.
Steinbauer inside, power move there.
And you bring in Steinbauer. I mean, she's a veteran, so to speak, on this team, but she's somebody who is consistent. She's poised. She makes a play.
Williams forcing one up. She got her own rebound, but officials say she stepped on the line.
Yeah, right here, we're going to see Tara Steinbauer looking in the middle of the zone. She finds the seam. Great look by D'Elia and finishes the shot. That's what they have to do. They have to continue to get the ball inside.
And they haven't actually had much of that, Stephanie, since the Panthers went to this zone.
No, they haven't. They've been taking a lot of jump shots, settling for outside shots. You can still attack a zone. You can still score in the paint. You just have to do it in different ways.
D'Elia in the corner. Finally, she makes one.
Well, and that's a leader right there. You know, she hasn't hit a couple shots, but she continues to take them. She steps in a little bit more on that zone. The penetration makes that shot, though. You penetrate, draw the zone, kick for a jump shot.
Get it to Edwards. Edwards steps out.
McClain back in. The second overtime after tweaking her ankle.
McClain trying to shoot one up, but there's Turquoise.
And this is exactly what Wisconsin needs. You go down, you get a score, you come back, you get a stop. Come down again, get a score, get a second stop. This is the momentum and the control that Coach Stone was talking about.
Steinbauer to Gant. Badgers seem to be moving a little bit better offensively.
You can feel the energy is just different right now in this second overtime.
And there's Zastro right down the middle.
And attacking the middle of the zone. Again, finding the seam. Zastro and Steinbauer are doing a great job. Steinbauer occupies that middle defender in the back line, and Zastro slides in behind underneath the guards, and she's able to knock that down.
And just like that, the Badgers take a 6-point lead over the Panthers.
Well, we know anything. We know that it's not over. Milwaukee's fighting, and they've done a great job.
Turquoise McClain, she looks like she's cramping up, but a good score inside by her.
That's a great score and a great job of attacking the rim, and you can see right now that Milwaukee wants to continue to attack. We're going to see Wisconsin right here attacking the rim. That little dribble penetration and drawing that zone defender is what creates that opening for Raylan D'Elia. It creates her a shot. And the second one, Steinbauer occupying the middle of the zone. Lynn Zastro able to sneak in underneath the guard. A great look by T again. I mean, that's the seam of the zone that you have to attack.
I'm sure that's one of the things, one of the adjustments that Coach Stone really focused on just before this double overtime.
And you can still have your 4-out 1 in around the perimeter and occupy the defense. You just got to be able to slide in behind the zone or attack the zone in the seams.
Steinbauer took the three-pointer. It's no good, but there's Gant for the rebound.
And Zastro again involved in that play, occupying a defender on the box out, opens up an opportunity for your guards to slide in and get those rebounds.
4-point lead for the Badgers. 69-65, 2:22 remaining in double overtime.
Wisconsin right now needs to get a score of this possession. Attack, move the ball and attack the zone. Great job right there by D'Elia of attacking the zone. Zastro strong with the ball.
Ball nearly stolen away from Carroll. She'll fling one up. Steinbauer tried to get it up on the rim. A shot clock violation for the Badgers.
And one of those situations where Alyssa Carroll put the ball on the floor a little bit too early. She could have caught it and just reversed it, but trying to make a play just a little bit too quick.
Ball inside to Edwards. She's triple teamed. And a foul is called. See who that foul was called on.
Well, Edwards again right there is really doing a great job of using her body and sealing in middle of the zone. Ooh, that looks like a good block by Sastro, but called for the foul anyway, which will be her 5th. I mean, when you're converging on Edwards right there, Alyssa Carroll tries to come in, Tara Steinbauer tries to come in. You've got to come in early. You've got to make her attack the baseline. Don't give her that little bit of look and come in late in the middle.
Zastro did a tremendous job today on Edwards. Although Edwards had several points, she really did a good job early in the game, taking her out of what she wanted to do.
And Edwards is a great player. I mean, she has worked for every point she's got on this stat sheet. She has worked tirelessly, and in the second half, things have opened up a little bit more for her, but that's because the way that her teammates have spread the floor. That's because she came out early, facing up, knocked down a couple of shots, and it opened up the paint for her the second half.
Turquoise McCain back in the game.
And another double-double.
Edwards gets her 30th point of the night. 30 points, 10 rebounds so far. A minute 46 remaining in this game. Badgers lead it by 2 in double overtime.
And again, offensive efficiency. Make sure you're getting good shots, good opportunities. Give yourself an opportunity.
Anya Covington into the game for Zastro, who just fouled out. Shot clock down to 9. Steinbauer making a move, and she gets fouled.
And that's a position right there. A great look by Braylon to getting the ball into Steinbauer. Steinbauer tries to make a move. Now there are 2 players on her. I think she had Jade Davis open in the corner for a little jump shot, but again, you're attacking the zone with the pass right there. Steinbauer makes a baseline move. Does a good job of drawing the contact.
Steinbauer definitely doing a good job of establishing that inside post presence, kind of to combat what's happening with Edwards on the other side of the ball.
She is, and she's one of those players that's just blue collar. I mean, she's really going to work. She's going to show you her number. She's going to be able, you're going to be able to get the ball into her, but she's also in control when she gets it.
Offensive rebound off of the Steinbauer free throw miss.
And a big offensive rebound. It kills you to give up offensive rebounds off of free throws, but Wisconsin pursuing the basketball. Look at how far out Milwaukee's defense is playing. That opens up that paint, and you just have a weak side flash or a flash from the top into the middle of that zone. But right now their spacing isn't quite right.
Shot clock down to 2. Carroll throws one up. No good, but guess who got the offensive rebound?
Another offensive rebound. It's giving opportunities, giving yourself an opportunity.
70 to 67, 3-point lead for the Badgers. 42 seconds remain in this game.
And we might be seeing a little bit of fatigue on Milwaukee's point right there. Edwards going against Carroll, and Carroll out jumps her, gets that rebound. Nice pass.
Carroll could have took the shot, changed her mind. Lauer the block, but nobody from the Panthers gets the ball, and the shot clock violation from the Badgers.
And I think right there, Braylon D'Elia does a great job of attacking the zone. And Alyssa Carroll, if she shifts and slides with that penetration, she's got a shot opportunity. She still had a shot. She didn't take it, but she still had a shot. And when that happens, when penetration happens, you have to move with that penetration. You have to slide down the lane, and she would have had a wide open look. But again, and then Anya Covington gets the ball, doesn't know the shot clock. I mean, that's a young player who hasn't seen, any minutes in the second half coming in.
We'll have more action right after this. The Badgers lead the Panthers by 3 in double overtime.
They desire greatness, demand respect, define success, and let true passion shine through. This is Big Ten Women's Basketball in HD, only on the Big Ten Network.
Welcome back to the Kohl's Center. 22.8 seconds remain in double overtime. The Wisconsin Badgers lead the Panthers by 3.
This last play right here, we're going to see Braylon D'Elia drives the lane. Alyssa Carroll needs to slide down, give her an opportunity for a pass and a shot. She still had a shot, but if she moves with that penetration, gives D'Elia a good passing angle and knock down a 3-point shot. I think Alyssa Carroll still had that shot opportunity as well.
Just with the way the Panthers stopped playing right after that, you assume that they thought that it was a shot clock violation.
It does, and you look right here, points in the paint, 28-28. Milwaukee had 2 at halftime. To me, that right there is your key stat. 26 points in the paint in the second half.
Look at the turnovers. Milwaukee had 15 turnovers at the end of the first half. They seem to have been able to take care of the ball in the second half going into these 2 overtimes.
They've done a better job, and their turnovers haven't been unforced. I mean, in the first half, there were a lot of really unforced turnovers. In the second half, when they're turning the ball over, it's because they're being aggressive. And coming up next, more Big Ten women's basketball. Marquette visits host Northwestern right after our action.
If you're anxious to get to that game, we got to finish with this one first. Exciting things going on in the Kohl Center.
We sure do.
15 seconds remain. The Badgers up by 3. There's Lauer for 3 off the mark. And Williams gets inside and scores the 2.
Great job of Williams right there getting an offensive rebound, and they ran it inside, outside, had a 3-point opportunity. You can see right here, inside, outside. We knew the ball was going to go into Edwards. They set a little screen away for Lauer to get a 3-point shot opportunity, but continuing to pursue the ball is Williams. Great job of getting that, and a quick score and a timeout. And we know they're going to come out and they're going to try to foul Wisconsin right away, but good job again pursuing the basketball. Williams does a great job. For a guard, she really gets in there and does a great job on those offensive rebounds.
What happens if it gets tied again, Stephanie?
We go to triple overtime. I mean, really, you're in a situation right here. If you're Milwaukee, you've got to get a steal or a foul right away. And, you know, you take your chances. I mean, you look at a Wisconsin team who has not shot the ball extremely well from the free throw line. They've done a better job in the last 2 games, but overall their percentages aren't that great. And if I'm Milwaukee, I'm going right after Anya Covington. She's just come in the game. She's a freshman. I'm going right after her.
Badgers will inbound. 7.6 seconds remaining. Wisconsin up by 1. And Dunham is fouled. I guess they didn't hear you, Steph.
Well, hey, Dunham is a 56% free throw shooter. I mean, you know, this Wisconsin team overall is just shooting about 59% as a team. Dunham has been a huge spark in this game, though, so she's got a lot of confidence. She needs to step to the line and knock these down. Now, if you're Milwaukee, she misses, I'm attacking the rim. I'm getting the ball to Williams, and I'm attacking the basket.
Overall today, Wisconsin doing a tremendous job from the free throw line. 19 of 21, 91%. That's their best effort yet from the free throw line all season.
And what they need to do, and one of the areas they need to continue to improve on.
Free throw is up and good by Dunham. 55% from the free throw line going into this game.
And one more makes it a 3-point game. She needs to knock this down.
Free throw, no good. 3 seconds. And the game ends.
Didn't get a shot opportunity. It's a 2-point game. You've got to keep attacking if you're Williams, but hit time and score. Understanding time and score. What a game.
What a game, like you mentioned before.
You see right here a missed free throw, so it's still a 2-point game. If you're Williams, I'm taking this ball all the way to the basket. Might be a situation where she thinks they need a 3. She finds Lauer, but Lauer's got to be able to catch and shoot. You don't have time to dribble. You've got to know the time. You've got to know the score.
An exciting, exciting game. Nobody would have thought that Milwaukee was